your Monday going? I hope everyone is doing well. My Monday is going, it's copacetic, I couldn't ask for a better Monday. Actually, I woke up feeling a little bleh. Okay. I woke up feeling real iffy, but I did my quiet time with the Lord. Okay. And I feel like I don't know. I feel like September was going very well. It started off shaky, but then at the end of September, as we transitioned from summer to fall, eh, I don't know. I don't know. It's work. Hey, Tasha, how are you doing today? Guys, thank you for tuning in. If you are listening on the replay, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. Hopefully, you can stop by for a live during the live. But I understand sometimes that's not always a viability for most people. People are working, taking care of their families, and some of you are content creators doing your own content. Someone said something about, well, I want to go live, but I see everybody else going live. And I'm like, go live anyway. There's millions of people on YouTube. And, if you're supporting someone, you can catch them later. And people will still come and watch your replay. So, helping grandkids study spelling words now. M3, I believe you said your children were out of school today. What about you, Tasha? Are your kiddos at home? Um, my daughter that's in high school and my middle school daughter, they are both in school today. But my daughter, who is a college student, she had the day off. I used to love Columbus Day, or what are they calling it now? Indigenous People Day. They come up with something every minute because I loved it because I didn't have to work, but the kiddos had to be at school. So it gave me a little time to myself. Guys, I need new brassieres. Like this bra that I have on today, it's my newest bra, and I loved it because it fits so good, right? But now the straps are constantly coming down. I might as well just take it off and switch bras because it's getting on my nerves. But it's like I can go down an entire cup size. I feel like I can tell you guys that because you guys have been on this weight loss journey with me, and I've been messing up this week. I've had hot fries, coffee cake. I've had carne asada tacos. I've been living it up. But Nazima, for real, influencers do work hard. For sure, for sure. Namaste. Namaste. Wait a minute, how do you say namaste? Namaste, namaste. You get it. How are you doing, Jack Tar? Thanks for tuning in. But yes, I'm telling you guys that because, not because I just, want to be telling all my business, but for those of you who have been on this journey with me, can you tell I lost anything? I mean, is it noticeable? You guys, can you tell? Am I slimming down just a little bit? But I need new bras. For sure, for sure. I need new bras. And I need new clothes, period. Because, like, a lot of the stuff I was wearing is boo boo anyway. But my stomach was a lot larger. So now, it's like being a pregnant woman. That's how I feel like, how after you're pregnant, the clothes that you wore, they're stretched out and out of shape from your stomach or whatever. So yeah, that's a good thing. Um, but yeah, so I said I was only gonna start being live like once or twice a week, but I don't know. I'm so used to doing it. Like I feel I feel out of sorts if I don't do it. But I know that I won't do them for as long, right? And I also know that sometimes I'll just come on here and talk. I'll talk to you guys and see what's going on with you guys just to check in. But M3, what do you have going on today? Did you already go live? Or was it? I know I was in somebody's live early this morning. Hey, I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher your name. Is it Jran or Jron? I'm sorry. How are you doing today? Welcome to the live. I have a question I want to ask you guys. Do you like drama? Do you guys like drama? Like, be for real, keep it real. Do you like drama or do you like positive vibes? Oh, you went live already? How did I miss that? Like, I gotta go to your, let me go to your channel and make sure I have my notifications on because how come I didn't see it? Because I sure did not see you live. And I was going through the YouTube streets to see who was live because I would have joined it. I joined Break Rooms. I joined her live. That was a little different. I'm used to seeing stuff like that, like maybe on Facebook or something like that. You'll see people, I haven't really seen that on YouTube, but I want to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about the content that you partake in or the content that you're doing? Do you care as long as it's entertaining? Does it matter to you what type of content it is? I posted something today and I said that women need to get like men and get like two or three men in their rotation. And someone just commented, "Girl, I don't even have one man, let alone three." Well, she got to get busy. She got to get to work because I believe that it's 8 billion people in this world. If there are 8 billion people in this world, we at least minimum have about 10 people that are perfect for us, at least. Let me know if you agree in the chat. I told you there are sectors here that are not only positive. Drama, of course, keeps you intrigued, but I enjoy peace as well for balance. Um, it just depends for me. I think I'm more so I think if it starts getting too negative, I'm adverse to it. Like if it depends on what it is too, and how invested I am in like the topic or the person, that's posting the content. It depends. Like if I'm not really invested in it and I don't know what's going on, then I too much won't pay attention to it because I don't know what's going on. Like I know you talked about the truth before, and I don't even know how I was following the truth. I don't. I think on Facebook, they just put people in your algorithm that are similar to you or that you would probably want to follow. So I don't think, and then his wife was on there too. I don't know, but for some reason, when they got divorced or when they were going through what they were going through, and they pull so many gags, they do so much stunting on social media. I always thought that it was just content. And see, that's the issue when you do too much on social media. People never believe you or never take you serious. So I didn't take it serious when I saw it, and I think Brianna was sitting in her car, and I said, "Oh, she's cute," but she just looked regular at the time. And then as I saw her content more, I was like, "Oh, she's a pretty girl. What does she want with the truth?" But then I got to see who she was. Like she's kind of like an airhead a little bit. She doesn't choose wisely because she said the truth was beating her, and then the new baby daddy, she said he was abusive as well. So I was just like, okay. Like, if you keep attaching yourself to men who harm you or who are abusive in some way, then I think the issue is you. Now, that's not letting the men off the hook who are doing that, but I'm saying, why are you, I don't know. We all make bad choices. I talked about my bad choices last night. If you didn't see that live, M3, was you in there for that? What did you think about that live last night? I was like, girl, you doing too much on YouTube. So as soon as I got off, I promptly put that live for members only. So judge all you want, judge all you want. Baldy back crawl. Look, I don't even, you know what? I don't even like, I'm getting to that point where if I don't like your screen name, I'll just hide you from my channel, like real quick, real fast. If I don't like your screen name, if you come in here saying something I don't like, just real quick, I will hide you from my channel. So you guys might want to, do better with that. Like choose screen names that people won't dislike immediately. Yeah, I put it on members only as soon as I got off live. Yep. But I might do another story time. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it was, you know what? I think now that's what I do like, M3. I like to digest content that's real and relatable. Real and relatable. Things that, you know, that make you cringe a little bit, but you can relate to it because it's something that you've done before or you may have done before. As I'm getting older, I'm learning like stop being so judgy, because I'm not gonna lie, I can be very judgy, but I'm learning that people are just people, and we all are more alike than we are different, right? So yeah, so that's just keeping it real. Hey, Elevated, how are you doing, buddy? What's going on with you today? What's the haps? Do you work today, Elevate, or are you or did you also have a 3-day weekend? Oh, you just got home from work. Yeah, that's early still, 4 o'clock. That's a good shift. If you work 7 to 4, or 7 to 3, or 6 to 3. I used to work 6 to 2, and I couldn't stand having to get up early because I had to commute to work, so I would have to get up at like 4 a.m. Okay, so I could be on the highway by 5. Whew, I'm so sleepy, y'all. And I would always be late to work. I would get there like 6:05, 6:10. I was forever late to work. But I loved the fact that I could get out of work by 2. And then on my way home, like the drive wasn't bad at all. I would get home in like 40 minutes and it went by really fast. So, and then you have the afternoon to do whatever. But like I said, you have to go to bed early. I think probably at that time, I probably could go to bed like at 10, sometimes even 11, which is probably why now, until this day, I have a hard time going to sleep because I would just stay up. Yeah, but those were the days. Those were the days. Like when I think about working, I just get so, I don't know. Like I do know that I need to get out there and work again. I'm too young to not be working, but at the same time, I'm like, ugh. And for me, that's big. That's like real big for me to say that. You have to realize I have been working in some capacity since I was about 11 or 12 years old. Of course, like most girls, at 12 years old, I used to babysit. but I used to get paid, right? So I would babysit, go to people's houses, watch their little bad kids, and I would get paid to do that. That was cool, right? And then after that, I would get summer jobs, and I would work in, different. I worked at a hospital one year. I worked for like this business that contracted nurses out. It was called Visiting Nurses Association. And I guess what they did was they contracted nurses out. I worked for them one summer, and I started braiding hair when I was like 13. So I would braid hair. I hated braiding hair, but when I was first learning how to braid hair, I um I was excited about learning how to do it. So I braided hair, and that's how I made money through high school and some of college. So that was fun. That was fun to do. I've always been that girl who wanted her own money. Like, I didn't want to ask my mom. Like, I've always been a tennis shoe girl. So I always like having the latest kicks and all of that. I was a clothes girl. So I liked having my own money to do the things I wanted to do. And I didn't mind working for it. And then, of course, I think I was like 17 because I started college a year early. And I think it was before I turned 18 because I was supposed to turn 18 and then graduate. But instead of that, I actually went to college. So I've been doing something my whole life. And I've always had that mindset. Like, I don't understand people who don't do anything or who lay around. We all know those people who don't really have anything going on. Like, I couldn't understand why somebody would not choose to work. And then I think my older sister, she had got to that point. She, like myself, like I am now, she had been married, raised a family, did the commute back and forth to work, did the whole college thing, got her degree, and then she found herself at a state where she wanted to just work here and there, and not really go to work. She said she was tired, and I was just like, okay. And I think for about 10 years she did that. She was like, I just don't really want to work right now. And I was like, okay, well, if you can, still manage and take care of yourself, I guess. But then she finally decided that she did, and she started another career, a whole new profession, and decided that, okay, now's the time for me to get back into the workforce. And I don't know. I feel like when you get older, it's harder to get into these professions. What do you guys think? Elevator said work is overrated. Absolutely. Like, um, I don't know. I do the content creation, and when it's good, when I do the content stuff, when I'm making money, I'm like, okay, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. But when the money isn't coming as like I would like it to come, sometimes I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you need to get back to work or something like that. But content creation has been good to me. It has been good to me. And it's more in line with what I want to be doing right now. I did, it was last year I didn't tell God. I prayed and I said, am I on the right track? Because it had been a couple of months where I was getting like, I was having months where I wasn't making anything. Like, I had a couple of $30 months, and I was like, should I just give up on this stuff? And then I'm telling you, as soon as I said that or prayed to God about that, then the next week I started making like thousands of dollars a day. So, uh, sorry guys. So I don't know. I don't know if that was God answering me, but uh, I was like, okay, I guess I better keep going at this since I'm doing well. Sorry, I'm texting my daughter on my other phone. You bitches is done eat 'em. Tell 'em check, please. Check, please. Check. That Cardi B song will not leave my head. That's why you gotta watch what you listen to, because then you have it stuck in your head all day. I always want my own. If I spent money on a degree, I'm using it at least for a few years. I did use it. I used it for a long time. You have to remember, M3, I didn't actually have to pay for my degree. My job paid for it. So, but I did work for it. I did work for it, honey. I went through hell at that job. So I did pay for my degree and stress and all of that. But yeah, I want my own for sure. Definitely, I definitely don't want anything handed to me for free. I don't want to sit around at home all day. I think that we were meant to do some type of work. Um, I think our bodies are supposed to be in motion, like walking and using our hands, creating, uh, hunting our food and preparing our food, and just taking care of where we live, things of that nature. And of course, with men having different advantages and things like that, our workload has changed and become something different. But I just despise the whole sit at a desk thing. Shout out to anybody who's sitting at a desk. Some people love it, but for me, it was just like, I think it was worse than anything for me, any job I've ever done. I hated fast food when I was a teenager, and I did that, and I hated sitting at a desk all day. That was just like, mm-mm, because I'm bored all day. I don't have the opportunity to create. I'm just staring at a computer. I couldn't do it. Am I feeling a little ghetto today? Why did you say that? Why did you say, am I feeling a little ghetto? What are you assisting? That's a running joke that me and my sister say to each other all the time. It was this guy years ago, years and years ago when we were younger. Instead of him saying, "What are you insinuating?" He was like, "What are you assisting?" And we said that. We say that to each other all the time. But elevator, what do you mean? Am I feeling ghetto? Oh, Cardi B. Um, you know what? Elevate. I don't know if you know this, but I love to listen to ratchet rap music. Okay. Yeah. So, and I am ghetto. I guess I'm a little ghetto. I'm from Watts, South Central. I try to play it off, but deep down, I'm a little, I'm a little hood rat, a little bit. Hey, Enoch, what's good? This is early for you. What are you doing up so early? You like a desk job as long as you're busy? You know, um, my last gig, I used to, um, I used to work with juveniles, detained juveniles, and we would be outside with them. We would do different programs with them, and I like doing that. I like that we were able to plan our days accordingly and work with the kids. And I didn't like the paperwork side of it when we would have to do reports for the courts. I didn't like that it was a post position where you would have to wait until you were relieved in order to leave. I didn't like that part of it, but I did like working with the kids who had different backgrounds and just being able to influence and change, help them to grow and to possibly change. I love that part of it, but I didn't like um, the part where we had to, do reports for court and things like that. And also each day was different. Every day was different. Anything could happen. You could have a riot, um, and a lot of days were pretty slow and boring, but it wasn't just sitting and, being in the office and things like that. But then after a while, it did get to that point where I was doing more office work, um, doing more reports, and I didn't like that part of it. It just wasn't my vibe. You know, I think we all have different working styles where we prefer to do things a certain way, and that wasn't for me. Hey, butterfly. Good afternoon. I finally admitted I'm ghetto. I don't think I ever denied it, Enoch. I don't think I ever denied it at all. You know, I'm not. I'm me. I am me, and there's there's many facets to me. You know, and I like that about myself. Butterfly, what did you have going on today? Enoch, why aren't you at work? You should be at work while you're over here policing me, sir. You know, you always got something smart to say when you come over here. One of these days, I'm telling you, one of these days. But I'm going to ask you all, since you just came in, and I hope you hit the like button when you came in. But I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think you prefer? Do you prefer the negative content or do you prefer the positive content? By negative, I mean drama. I mean, negative. Positive, I mean inspiring, motivating, self help. Which do you prefer? You were cleaning up this morning. Butterfly, you love playing in that water. But my grandmother used to be like that. My grandmother used to stand at the kitchen sink just talking and washing dishes, and she'd have her dish towel and have it all soapy, wiping down the wall and talking to us. Go get those clothes out the room so I could put them in the washer. And she'd stand over the washer and be soaking clothes in the washer and all of that different stuff. My grandmother loved doing things like that. She loved hanging clothes up outside. Even though we had a dryer, she still loved to take her basket of clothes and hang them up outside. My grandmother says that your clothes get cleaner and the sunlight takes the dinginess out of clothes. I don't know, but she used to love to do that. You like the motivating stuff, Enoch? Well, what do you call motivating? Are you like into like um like Joyce Myers motivating, or perhaps you're like uh maybe you like Jay Shetty? Do you guys know who Jay Shetty is? Or are you motivating like who is it? Last year I was really on that though. I was really on that. I was on Myron Golden, I think his name is. I like Myron, but then he got repetitive. But I was watching him a lot last year. There's this other guy. What's his name? Let me see. Let me go to who he was married to because I can't think of his name. I can't think of his name for nothing in the world. What is that man's name? Right, it does elevate it. Um, the low vibrational stuff. I think that people just like um, I guess it would be that people want to take a um, they want to probably it's entertaining because one it gives them the ability to get away from their own drama for a minute. And then, especially if it's a little bit worse than what they're going through at the moment, then it gives people the opportunity to say, hey, well, I can connect with this or I can agree with this and this is what I'm going through as well. Or they can just judge it, right? Well, I'm going through a lot, but at least I'm not going through this. But I don't know. The top 30 black motivational speakers are Les Brown. I couldn't think of that for anything in the world. Les Brown, he's been doing it for years. Eric Thomas, Will Smith, they got him on there too. I like Will Smith. I was listening to him a lot last year. Van Jones, TD Jakes, okay, they got him as a motivational speaker. You know who I also like to listen to? Deion Sanders. Um, he has a lot of good things to say. I like listening to him. Um, I also like Tyler Perry. I like listening to him as well. But yes, it does, help you to listen to motivational speakers because it inspires you to keep going, to get up and get moving, to get out of that space that you're in. Like I said, last year, I did really well financially last year. I did really well financially last year. And there was a lot of spots and spaces in there where I could have given up, right? Where I could have just stopped and said, okay, I'm just going to give up. I mean, I had health issues, and then it was just like one thing after the other. I had children who were kind of like giving me, stressing me out, and we just made it through. So I just decided to hunker down and just keep praying and just keep putting my life in God's hands. And I often have to remind myself of that, right? But what I was doing a lot last year is I was staying away from the negative and I was concentrating on, and I said that today on a post that I made, and I posted it on my community wall, trusting God and, well, no, keeping my faith in God and trusting the process. And that's what I learned to do last year at my big age, yes. But prior to that, I prayed to God, but I always relied on myself. I didn't rely on anybody else. I'm working, I'm making money. As long as I can work, as long as I have, not even as long as I can work, because I was young, I didn't think I wouldn't be able to work. It was as long as I have my job, I will be able to, be fine financially. I would be okay. I made enough. I had good benefits, so I thought, okay, as long as I have my job. And when I would pray, it would be, oh God, give me the ability to go to work, and God, thank you for my job. It was never, okay, God, give me the ability to rest and things like that. I wasn't really resting in God. So, um, for a lot of reasons, that job wasn't it for me, and I'm glad I'm no longer there. But now in this season of my life, I'm learning trust God, not what I can do, because there's going to be a moment in life that we're all going to have that come to Jesus moment and realize we can't do it on our own. And there's nobody on this earth that can come and help us or save us. We have to rely on Him. I know not everybody believes that, but I do. I believe that wholeheartedly. I've seen it, I lived it, I've experienced it, and I've been able to make it through because I know it now. Butterfly says she likes relatable content that's realistic and positive. Your channel is really positive. I like that. I like that your spirit just radiates through the screen. Like you can feel how positive you are and how happy you are. Um, and that's not easy. It's not easy to be that way every day, right? At least not for me. Some days I feel really positive. Some days I feel really great. And some days I just feel like, I don't really feel bad or negative. And when I do feel like that, I can easily come up out of it because I know what tools I have and how to use them. But I don't know. Enoch, what was you trying to say? No, my grandmother is still alive, child. Knock it off, butterfly. My grandmother is still alive and kicking. I need to call my grandmother today. Honey, perish the thought, butterfly. My grandmother is still here. But my grandmother baked. She baked. Oh my gosh, she used to bake the best pies and the best cakes. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't understand why YouTube let some of this silly stuff get through. And I'm not even going to read it or anything or acknowledge it. Just going to block you. That's it. But yeah, so I'm over here trying to figure out how my day is going to go. I thought I had it planned out. I usually know how my week is going to go. Today is different since it's a holiday. I usually have so much going on Monday. And I could just chill and kick back and relax. But I don't know. I feel like doing that. When I'm feeling down and I got up, just thank God you got up. You know, that's simple. Simple enough, right? Yeah, it is early here. It is what? 124. Dang. But see, I've been up for a long time. I've already got so much done today. I, s- I'm going to go back to what you're saying in a minute, Enoch, but I just switched my insurance because my insurance, I had State Farm, and it was like $400 a month. Just too high. Just way too high. But last year, I was picking my children up from school, and someone came out of the parking lot and hit my car, and I didn't get their information. They like sped out of there really quick, so I did have a deductible. But State Farm was really good. They told me where to go. I left my car there. I think my car was there for like 2 weeks. I was able to go get a rental, everything. I didn't have to do much of anything. Just call them, tell them what I wanted to do, uh, or I didn't have to do anything. I just had to send pictures. They told me which body shop to contact. I sent pictures to them, and then I was able to go. This insurance company, I'm paying half the money, but I'm going to tell you, you get what you pay for. They want me to pay for the rental car out of pocket, and then they reimburse me. I feel like it's a trick. I really do. They were like, "Oh, we insurance went up 20%." But they weren't talking about insurance. They were talking about their insurance went up 20%. They went up like 20%. Like, I had started with them. I had a couple of cars insured through them. Um, and so, what else did I have through them? But I had everything. I had roadside assistance through them. I had everything. Car, rental, everything. I had works. But And then at one point, I also had my daughter's car under my plan too. And she had her brand new car for like 30 days and they paid it off. They didn't question anything. They saw what happened. The car was totaled and they paid for it. These Kemper or Infinity Insurance, I guess they're one of the little low budget insurances. Oh my gosh. They were like, oh, send us the bill. We reimburse. And I'm like, I don't have the money. I don't have any money to do that. Oh my, how will I get my car fixed? Like, what if you don't have money? That's crazy. That's weird. So, no, they're on something different. Um, I thought they covered everything, but I don't want to pay $400 a month for insurance. I got to figure that out. I think I might go. Progressive was pretty good too. I don't know. I had Allstate at one point. They were good. I don't know, but this one right here, absolutely not. I'm not going to pay for the rental car. That's what I have insurance for. Why would I add car rental to my insurance policy if I wanted to just pay it. And then she tried to tell me, "Oh, we can't pay it. We denied your claim because it's less than your deductible." And I'm like, "How? I have uninsured motorists. This person hit me. The old man, 82 years old, hit me, and then he lied and said he had insurance, and the only thing that he had in his car was a canceled policy. Well, they had sent him out a letter saying his policy was canceled, and that was from April or May of this year. So I'm like, okay, you all you have in your car, everything you have in your car is saying you don't have insurance. He was like, no, but I do. It was reinstated, and I'm like, okay, so where's that information at? I knew he was lying because he was just going through paper after paper, and I was so pissed off. And I just came home and made sure I paid. My policy was up to date and all that. So yeah, that pissed me off. That just really pissed me off that day because I'm like, here I am. My car is parked. I'm not even driving. I'm parked, and this old man just drives up and hits me. Like, that was so irritating. But and now this boo boo insurance that I have, like, you have Progressive. You know what? Around I think I had Progressive for a few years, and back around the time of the I'm always hitting something. I'm always hitting something or getting hit. I was backing into my garage, and I tore my garage frame up, and then I made a baby boo boo on the rear end of my car. So I sent in the pictures and everything, and Progressive tried to give me a little issue about that. That was around the pandemic. And so I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. But 380, is that for one car, Butterfly? You left State Farm as well. Was that for one car? And back to what you were saying, Enoch, as far as when you're feeling down, get up and thank God. Sometimes it's a little bit more than just thanking God and praising Him. Sometimes for me, it's sometimes you have to, and I'm grateful to God that I have that wherewithal to get up and just keep going and just really press through. But sometimes it sticks with you. You know, some of us, and I know I'm blessed because it hasn't been my case, but some of us, we don't even have enough in us to even get out of bed, to even mouth those words, thank you, Jesus. We're just so down bad. Um, you know, sometimes it's a heavy burden. So I'm just grateful. I was telling my mom that the other day. I'm grateful that, that's never been my case. But sometimes I do have hard days. I do. Enoch, I was just saying to my girls, I saw Kendall out on her bike ride. I'm like, we need to get our bikes. We got bikes, and then we kind of let them like just corrode away in the garage. So I was just telling my girls that this weekend that we're gonna get bikes, and we're going to start riding bikes again. But yeah, you're right. I do need a bike. Thank you for that reminder. You understand? Thank you, Enoch. Thank you for understanding. That song you sent me the other day, my mom loves that song by Anita. I love you, Jesus. Thank you. I appreciate that. But that's one of the things I do. I listen to a lot of gospel music when I'm feeling down, and it does help. It helps a lot. And because sometimes I could read the word and feel the power, but sometimes I definitely need to hear music and get pumped up and get going. And then I'm able to pray, and then I'm able to keep moving on. And I'm just glad that those moments where I feel down, they don't last. But yeah, we all need that. We all need that. We all need that positive connection And I know for some people it's not God, it's something else, but for me it is God. It is my belief in Jesus Christ. That's what it is for me. I know others have their belief system and what works for them. I'm not going to do that debate and say whether they're right or wrong, but I think everybody needs something that they can stand on and something that will help them through. For me, God has just been so powerful in being able to do that. I've talked about it before how I've battled with anxiety and depression, and I had battled anxiety for like 10 years because I just kept doing the same thing that was causing the anxiety, the same job, and for a long time I thought it was me. I thought God was punishing me, but I was really just punishing myself because all I had to do was let go and let God show up. And the moment I did that, the moment He was able to step in and change things around. But I kept trying to stay there and I kept allowing myself to constantly go through the drama and the stress of working in that bad environment. So, and I think that for most people, that is the case. You just need to get divorced, move to the next city, cut your family off, whatever it is. Get in shape, lose weight. It's so simple, but not everybody is going to do what is so apparently clear that they need to do. So I'm just grateful to God that even though it took me a long time to get here, that I got there. And that's why we need the positive stuff. We do. We do, especially if we're down in the dumps. I think that if we don't see that, then there will be no hope for us, right? There will be no hope for us when we don't know where to turn or what to do. If we're turning on like the baddies and the bad girls club where everybody is just fighting and arguing, like we're gonna stay stuck in that, in that energy. There's nothing like blessing someone else's day. It inspires me. I know you're big on that, Enoch. I know you like the positive stuff for real. I love the Lord with all my heart. There's nothing in this world like Him. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I've been asking Him for guidance and direction because, um, again, at my big age, sometimes I feel like, am I on the path that God would have me be on? And then it kind of bothered me to think about it. And I just said, you know what, God, I know that if I'm willing to do my part, you will lead me there. Help me not to worry about if I'm doing this right or if I'm saying this right. Help me to just be reminded that it's your grace that keeps me because I'm not perfect, nor will I ever be. But it is my desire to please God. So when I don't do that, then it does grieve my spirit. But do I always feel like I'm pleasing to Him? No. Do I always do the right thing? No. I know that as well. But I'm also cognizant of it. And I know that's not enough to just be aware of it. So, I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. And I'm okay with that. And I'm also starting to be okay with others being a work in progress too. Because like how others act may be different, how they act and react, it may be different from how we relate to the world, right? But it's still the same thing. Like no sin is greater than the other. So somebody else may be an alcoholic, another person may be an anorexic, somebody else may be angry, and another person might be sad and depressed. And it's all an issue that needs to be corrected, right? But people can't get better with judgment. People can't get better with hate and negativity. It's like it's hard to do when, someone is being so negative, but we still got to love on each other ultimately, right? But that's why I just wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think about the content that you ingest and how you how you relate to it and how it affects your day. Um, and there's no right or wrong answer. It really isn't, because some people like to watch boxing, which can be violent. Some people like to watch UFC fights, and some people may be like, you know what, I don't want to watch that. It's too violent. But some people enjoy watching that. Is it wrong? Depending on how you look at it, I guess some people will see it that way. But I don't really have an issue with that type of thing or that sort of thing. Like, I think football is violent. I think it's real brutal. But Americans love football. Americans live for football. But I think it's brutal. I think that men put themselves through a lot in order to play football. So I don't really, I will watch it sometimes, but it's not a sport that I'm really comfortable with for a lot of reasons. But I know a lot of people love it. So, um, sometimes things are just what they are. People have different tastes. It's the intent of your heart is what he looks at. Broken spirit and a contrite heart is what he's searching for. No one is immune to the trials and tribulations of life. Absolutely. Absolutely, Enoch. Um, and we have to have that understanding for other people, because just like we want God to be patient with us, we have to be patient with others, right? We have to be patient with others and understand that they are being processed too. And it's hard to love people when they're being processed, because we expect perfection out of people, but at the same time, we want other people to be understanding of us and our imperfections. So, you know, I don't ever want people to think that I think I'm perfect or that I'm trying to be perfect. I like people knowing, like you said, that I'm ghetto. That I'm ghetto. I can I can act a little classy sometimes. I'm a little classy based. I can turn it off and on, but I'm most comfortable just being myself and saying whatever comes to mind within reason. You know, I think more so these days I worry about what is God thinking about me. Like, you posted this. Like, are you really okay with posting this? Or like lately my posts have been real ghetto, right? But they can get really ghetto. They can really go there. They can be worse. My posts can be like 1,000 times worse because I have it in me. I really do have it in me to go there. However, they are a lot more tame than they would be. I'm going to tell you guys, yesterday, what was I going to post? Oh, and my 13-year-old, she's always she's my 13-year-old is Patty Perfect. She's so perfect. She loves reminding me of how much of a lame I am, right? But I guess I raised her like that, and I put that in her, so that's why she's the way she is. But I was going to post, I had a video in mind. I was going to post something about Peach McIntyre. She says she hates her kids, right? That she hates kids, and if her kids wasn't hers, she wouldn't like them either. And I was like, well, why would she post that? I was taking the approach of, why would she post that she doesn't like kids, and if her kids wasn't her kids, she wouldn't like them either. She wouldn't want anything to do with them. And my daughter was, in the room with me, and I was expressing it. I was like, and she was like, no, don't put that out there. Don't do that. Don't do that. She was like, because, like, that's very negative. And even though she said it, um, one day her kids are going to be old enough to go back and see this stuff. They're going to go back and see all the things that their mother did, all the things that their mother said. And even if she were to leave social media, and uh, even if she were to delete all of her content, that content will still be there, because so many people have, screen recorded her content and all of that. So, but I do think about what I post. I think about what I say too. Like, even last night, what I did last My post last night. I try not to go too far, but I can go far. I can get real colorful. It's the author in me. I'm creative, I'm imaginative, and I can really embellish and explore flowery flowery language and get out here and do it with the best of them. I really could do it if I wanted to, but I try not to. I try to hold back some in some ways. And I think I could answer my own question in that people do like the drama. People do like the negativity. They do. That's what people. And I'm gonna tell you, for years, all my posts were like really like just Christian based, inspiring. And even when I was married, my husband would say, "You're gonna have to get a little bit more edgy." He was like, "People don't," and I was like, "No, people do like this," because I was gravitating towards the positive and the inspirational content. And my first book, it was supposed to be like a self-help book. I have yet to release it, but I still have designs on writing a self-help book, or not even a self-help book, just an inspirational book that people can read and find encouragement. Not just people, but people who live with anxiety and depression. It's a book meant to you know help those who are dealing with those issues. So I was doing content kind of geared towards that because I had my book coming out. But then I switched reels and decided to do a fiction, a fictionalized book. So that's what came out first. But I'm still gonna release my inspirational book at some point. I was thinking I would do it next year. It's actually almost already written. I just have to stop being lazy. I think it's halfway done. I haven't touched it in like a year and a half. Maybe 23 I was doing it. And I kept saying, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, telling all my people, and then it never came. So I might finish that this year because that's what I'm really supposed to be doing is working on my books. And I kind of like put that um, put that on the back burner. But yeah, I can do the negative content, but people like it. Like all this time I've been doing content, and then I just got monetized in 30 days. I needed a lot of hours, you guys. I needed a lot of hours, and I had in September I had posts getting 1,000, one video getting like 1,000 hours. One Peach McIntyre video doing that. And I try to keep it cute and try not to really go there with it. And I think one time when I like kind of like said I agree with her, do you know when I looked at that video, I started seeing people start unfollowing me. I was like, this is crazy. Like they really, like the Peach McIntyre sector, people really despise her so much. So much. It's just like, ugh. It's like, ugh. So I started trying to, not trying, I am posting other things. Will I post things about her still? I think I said that last week. I don't want to be repetitive, but I will sometimes. But yeah, people can't stand her. Like she infuriates people. And I ask myself, I wonder how it feels to be heard and to know that so many people do not like you. That's why I branched out to different communities to get some kind of balance. Exactly, M3. You were right to do that. At least I'm real. Thank you, Enoch. One car, one car, B Fly, one car they had. That 400, is it I hope it's, you don't have to tell me, but I hope it's a luxury vehicle. Because I know those Benzes and those newer cars. But when I got my car a couple of years ago, it was brand new, so I would expect the um the insurance to be a little pricey. And in California, they have a lot of car theft, so I get that. But it just kept going, increasing. Like I had somebody do a hit and run on my car last year, and after that, that's when it just started going up. Like they only paid out like maybe 2, 3,000. And when I made the police report, um, he was like, "Look, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You should just pay out of pocket." I'm like, "I'm not gonna pay out of pocket." And I try to go to my kids' school and ask if they had any camera footage of the incident. They say they did not. So I got stuck, holding the bag with that accident or whatever. But it is what it is. It's like soap operas. It's what sells. People love drama. It keeps them interested. I try to look at it like that, Enoch, because for me, doing commentary on a Peach McIntyre or anyone on that level is no different than if I come on here and I talk about a Tyler Perry movie and I give a review on that. Like, I don't feel anything about being honest about it, critiquing that. And I also feel like this: why are you putting it here unless you want people to talk about it? And she's very intentional, Peach McIntyre. She puts things out there for people to comment on and for people to talk about. She does it for a reason. She's been at this for 5 years. She knows what's going to keep the people moving. And even the commentary is a part of her content. Like, you have to really look at it like that. I'm going to put this out, then I know these people are going to react on it. I know the Peach Patch is going to go for it. Then I know it's going to be some people who are going to find my content because I'm going viral. There'll be new people who are going to find my content, and then there are going to be people who hate me so much, they're going to be my biggest advertisers to get the new people to see my content. Then I'll sell classes. My content will go viral, so I'll make more money. So it's a cycle with her. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she expects the reactors to give the commentary that they give. I just wish people wouldn't get so riled up about it and get to the point where they start being just like her. You know what I mean? Like, you can't critique her and then do the same thing that she's doing, because then it becomes hard to see the difference. Like, you look the same way. So I try not to be insulting of her when I do it. And I try not to put her kids in content, but I'll react to whatever her behavior was, because again, that's what people want to see. But hopefully I can venture on from that. But if I hear about it or I see it and I have a comment about it, then I will put something out. Just like with anything else, I'm gonna react to it. I have some commentary coming out about other people besides her, and it's not all negative. Some of it's positive. Some of it is just my reaction. And so hopefully people will like that. If they don't, you know, I'll just keep going and keep doing things that interest me, and hopefully people will be able to resonate with it. Hi, Lakeisha. How are you doing today? Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, that's basically what it is. Lakeisha, do you like negative or positive content? Which one makes you click the most? Like, if you come on YouTube and you see Peach McIntyre, or you come on YouTube and you see Joyce Myers, who are you clicking first? Who's going to get your click first? Um, you should email me about it, Enoch. Email me. And I always welcome that as well. Like, if if I were to get emails from different people and they would say, okay, this is what I want to see more on your page, or even if it's not a lot of people, even if it's just one person, I will do it and we'll see where it goes. I don't, especially if it's something that I can connect with, or that I have an opinion on and I have something to say about it, I'll do it. I don't mind pushing the envelope at all. I love doing it. I love topics that make people think. I like topics that make people be like, oh, I know she didn't just say that. I like doing that because, like, it's entertaining and it's fun. Um, I don't, sometimes I do know what's going to make people feel uncomfortable, and I'm not really trying to make people feel uncomfortable, but I don't mind if I do because I like challenging human perspectives, right? I don't know, that's just how I move, that's how I operate. I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to rage bait anybody, right? That's not it at all. That's not the intent. And I'm not intentionally trying to just put negativity out in the atmosphere. But, oh, tell me now, what is it? Why do we have sundown town still, and why don't they, police and government, do anything about it? I don't know. I don't know. Um, Sundown towns. You know, this world is not complex at all, but the more it changes, the more it stays the same. And we can see that and we can feel that if we just really look in the world around us. It's not even a sundown town. I think people get comfortable thinking that things have changed and gotten better for us, and they haven't. I think just in some areas people are more uh, open with their racism than in other areas, right? But it's still there. It's there. Like that stuff hasn't went anywhere. Like look who we got in office. Look at the things that they don't mind saying. They don't mind saying a lot of different things. Like if we just open our eyes and if we just listen, nothing has changed. Nothing is different from 1965 than in 2025. It's all still the same. It's all the same. Now it's not just dogs and water hoses. Now it's just preventing you from being able to own a home, preventing you from getting your business off the ground. It's a lot. It's stopping you. It's stopping you because your light is out, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, your family's reading on or seeing on TV that you lost your life because you got pulled over. It's still the same. Sundown town or wherever, it's still the same. It's nothing has changed. So those type of things I try not to get into because it's like if it seems so hopeless, right? And it seems so it's like you gotta just rise above it, and you can't let it dictate your life because our ancestors before us, they had to keep going. They had to press through that. It was like they didn't have any resolutions for it. They weren't going to win back then. They weren't going to be able to free themselves from slavery. They had to endure slavery. They had to endure the civil rights movement and things like that. It was nothing that they can really do to change it except go through it and and try to rise above it and try to have something in spite of. I feel like we did better before integration. We did better before we were even voting because we knew all we had was each other. I think the problem is in us, like not realizing that we need to stick together and we need to work together. But as long as we don't do that, as long as we're worried about what everybody else is doing, as long as we're focused on how racism exists and all of that, then we're not doing what we need to do for us. They're going to do what they're going to do. You think they care about if we have what we need? No. They don't care about what goes on with us. They're too busy doing them and having what they want. And they know as long as they keep the power structure, the way it is, there's not much we can do to combat it. So we got to do that. We got to ask ourselves, why hasn't our mindsets changed? Why haven't we become stronger as a race? Why are we still living like we are in the Jim Crow era? Why are we still doing that? What's changed for us? In spite of the world around us, in spite of what's going on, what has changed? What has really changed for us? We're more divided than ever. We're more divided than ever. And it doesn't matter why. We should understand it and we should do something to change it. Right, it was a part of their growth. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yes, it does sadden you when you understand it. I mean, it's horrible when you're a black American and you helped build America, and then you see that illegal immigrants can come over to America and they can get more respect, better jobs, better housing than you do. That's an issue. That's an issue. And that is not an issue that the illegal immigration created. That's not an issue for them. They just knew how to get in where they fit in. When are we going to learn that? You think illegal immigrants are coming over here worried about sundown towns and racism? Nope. They're over here trying to get the American dream. They're going to get to it and they're going to stick together. They know what they're not even concerned with what Donald Trump or anybody else is talking about. They're concerned with, okay, what I got to do to make this money and to make life better for my family. And that's what we should be concerned with. How do I rise above all of this racism and all this mess that's going on? How do I rise above it and get, you know, and get to the point where I'm making life better for my family? That's what blacks used to do. They didn't sit around worrying about what the man was doing. They had their own barbershops, their own landscaping businesses. They had, women did their jobs at home and they took in laundry. They went out and worked as domestics. They did what they had to do. And before they knew it, all those jobs that were so-called service-oriented jobs, those jobs provided a good life for people. And black people were happy to have those jobs. Now, black people, they don't want to work service jobs. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. But back then we had more than we have. How is it that we have more money now and we're doing worse than we were doing back then, 60 years ago? My grandfather, he owned his home. My great grandfather, he worked for the railroad and he lived till he was 90 years old. And he was able to provide for his family. And he even took in relatives' children. My family owned houses on an entire block. And this is a black community. All those black people where my mom was raised in Missouri, they all owned their homes. My aunt, she was a beautician. She had her basement. She did hair in her basement. We don't see that anymore. We do see entrepreneurism in the black community, but we don't see it like it was going on then. It was like all we had was each other to rely on, and we worked together. We knew how to keep things a certain way. It was even better back then because we knew our boundaries and we knew what we had. Now I think that people are a little bit more coddled and they don't understand what's in front of them. When I was growing up, I knew. I don't think my kids even understand that. They don't really, I don't know. I knew I couldn't worry about welfare. I knew I couldn't worry about food stamps. I knew I had to get out here and get an education. I wasn't even worried about a husband or anything like that. I was just worried about how I would be able to provide for myself. That's what I was doing. I wasn't worried about what racists thought of me. I was just trying to get it for myself. And I knew I couldn't sit back and be concerned with that. And I'm still not. I wake up and I got to pray every day just to get out of my own head and to live with myself I can't even focus on what's going on in the world around me. First, I got to focus on me. And I think if we do that and focus on our own community, how can we help each other? How can we get ahead? How can I support the next black woman? How can I be there for her and encourage her? How can I do it for the next black man? How are we going to advance as a people instead of worrying about what others are doing to and against us? Because it's out there, it is happening, but now what are we going to do to get ahead of it? Hey Richie, thank you, thank you. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Trying to figure out if I want to go get a sub sandwich or what I'm doing. I'm not really supposed to be eating processed meat, but it's been a while. And I would love a sub. I don't know. I don't know if I want a sub though. I don't think so. I got things to make a salad with in there. I don't need to let that go bad. So I'm just trying to figure it out. How is your Monday going? What are you doing today? Did you work today? Did you work today, Rich? Mm. And I didn't know you had put new content out. So I was over there on your page. Rich, your apartment is so nice. That view, oh my gosh. I love it. I live for it. Very nice. Very boss. Very boss like. All right, guys. So I've been on here for a minute. I think I'm gonna go get off and go find me something to eat. You had the day off. It's very nice on the inside. I would love a tour, but I understand if you don't. I know people don't like showing their houses off. Are you still in? Are you in Jersey or New York? Why do I feel like you were in New York, but now you're in New Jersey? M3 popping in and out. M3, what are you making for dinner tonight? I feel like I wanted some macaroni and cheese. You know what I would really feel like? I would really love some fried chicken. Oh my gosh. I want like some fried chicken. You're in Jersey, but I'm going to give a tour real soon as we have our housewarming. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. I'm trying to get out of where I'm at. I need more space. And that's another thing too that I've been praying for. Like, I'm like, I don't see how it's going to happen. I promised my kids we will be out of here by December. It's October and and I don't see it happening, but I know I serve a powerful God. So I'm trying to stay in faith and make sure that I do what I need to do so we can get out of here. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get out of here. Stewed pork chops and white rice. That sounds good. Steak, veggies, garlic, and Parmesan noodles. Ooh, y'all, you guys are making me hungry. That sounds so good. I haven't had any fun soul food in so long. I've been eating clean basically for the better part of the summer. And that sounds really good. Yeah, fried chicken. Like, I want like the whole wings too. I might go to Popeyes. I don't know. Should I go to Popeyes? Go get me a three-piece meal with some red beans and rice and a biscuit. I don't know. I don't know. That's doing too much because I'm not supposed to be eating like that. But I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it and pay for it later. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Um, Maybe I'll get some videos out tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to do it today. I'm a little tired from going live so late at night. I think that's what's going on with me today. I need to get some good rest. Like I need a good night of sleep. I need like a great night of sleep, like maybe a good 8 hours, and then I can hit the ground running. So that's what I'm gonna do. I am, and you enjoy your day, relaxing, all of you all. I hope you guys enjoy this live. Stay tuned for more content. If you haven't already done so, please join the memberships because I'm starting to add more exclusive content for the members only. And also, it's going to be lit. It's only $2.99. Join up. Just go to my profile, click join, and pay your $2.99. Do something nice for yourself today. See you guys later. Have a good day.